Hold on. All right, live. Go ahead.
Tazia Banz Balawan Banya Shral.
Tazia Banz Balawan Banya Sha'ala.
Yabasim Yashab Rakathum.
Yahabashim Yashab Rakathum. Where's the cup?
Laya Sharala.
Laya Sha'ala. Yes, like.
As far as you can go without the green screen.
Oh. Go ahead, Captain. Straight.
Oh, we need to move that over.
That's that middle one turned up.
Oh, yeah.
Straight.
All right, with that, everybody can module, which means stand. Going to solve upon the thumb, turn to these. You read the Lord's Prayer in the last one for Dutch. Abunau. Shabbat Shema.
Shabbat Shema.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka. Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Latanana.
Nakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakna. Kabawathina. Kasalakna. Kabawathina. Walala. Tabi'ayna. Wanasai one. Abba. Aishayna. Mayan. Right. Kayat. Ka. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. Watapara. Lalamim.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
The Hakat, or the power in the Lashon Kodash. Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahushua. Abukashah. Latanana. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Kamakala. Wakamalawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Hakat. Lahakliya. Hamathia. Hakat. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Bahasham. Yahushua.
The water. Aman. Now in English. Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power,
please give us the power
to heal,
to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out,
to cast them out.
in the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is the blessed Israel and the lost one with us. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barakanawa.
Barakanawa.
Wayasha'al.
Wayasha'al.
Wahabayah.
Mahabayah.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The
The water.
Amen.
Amen. In English, what we said was, Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
bless us,
bless us
and Israel,
and Israel,
and the school,
and the school,
in the name of Yahushua.
in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 1, book of Psalm, chapter 1, verse 21. And the last one,
No, 121.
121. It's like, yeah, it's like, what's the book? Psalm, chapter 121. And the last one, Kodash. Aisha,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahahari,
Ahahari,
Mahayan,
Mahayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Izari,
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 Ma'an,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'aratza,
Wa'aratza,
Al Yatan,
Al Yatan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al Yanawam,
Al Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Walala,
Wala'ah,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shalmar,
Shalomar,
Yasha'al,
Yasharal,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamar,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazal,
Tazalka,
Al Yad,
Al Yad,
Yamyamka,
Yamyaka,
Yawmam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
Layakaka,
Layakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Walayala,
Walayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rad,
Makal Rad,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Afnapashka,
Aftapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaka,
Taza'aka,
Babawaka,
Wabawa'aka,
Mayata,
Mayata,
Wa'ad,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
I will love. Psalm chapter 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keep Yasha'al
he that keepeth Yahweh
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and the last one for that. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damiyalaka,
Al-Damiyalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Tarash,
Wa'al-Tashakwat,
Wa'al-Tashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amaka,
Al-Imaka,
Yariyamwa,
Yariyamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayata,
Ya'atazawa,
Yaitazawa,
Al-Tazabawanyaka,
Al-Tazabawanyaka,
Amaru,
Amarwa,
Lakau,
Lakawa,
Manakathiyadam,
Manakathidam,
Magawi,
Magalia,
Wala Yazakar,
Walaya the car,
Sham Yashal,
Sham Yashal,
Awada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa'atazawa,
Nawaitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Awyaka,
Ayaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarath,
Yakarapwa,
Ahali,
Ahalia,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashmalam,
Wayashmayalia,
Moab,
Mawaba,
Magari,
Wahagaria,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wamawan,
Waimawan,
Wamalak,
Waimalak,
Halasha,
Halasha,
Amishabi,
Amishabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Ramashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Aima,
Aima,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Sarawai,
Labani Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Aisha Laham,
Kamadia,
Hamadya,
Kasiyasara,
Kasayasara,
Kayabia,
Hayabia,
Wanako,
Banakal,
Koyashwan,
Kwayashwa,
Nasamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Wayandara,
Bayandara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Dama,
Dama,
Ladama,
Ladama,
Sayatamu,
Shaitamwa,
Nadami, Slate, Nadayamawa,
Nadaya Mawa,
Karab,
Kaira,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazamana,
Wakatazamanai,
Kaunasai Kamu,
Kanasai Kama,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amaru,
Amarwa,
Nairasha,
Nairasha,
Nalawa,
Lanawa,
Ah,
Ah,
Nawa,
Nawa,
Alahaya,
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 Shaitamwa,
Shaitamwa,
Kagalgala,
Kagalgala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Raka,
Raka,
Kaash,
Kaash,
Tabair,
Tabaira,
Yair,
Yaira,
Wakalhaba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Salahat,
Hariyam,
Harayam,
Kantar Dapma,
Kanthar Dapma,
Basairik,
Basairaka,
Wabasawapat,
Wabasa Wapatka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Hanyaham,
Follow one,
Follow one,
Wabakwashwa,
Weabaquashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wabahaw,
Weabahalwa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wakapaw,
Weakaparwa,
Wabadwa,
Weabadwa,
Wadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kayata,
Kayata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Alyawan,
Alyawan,
Alkaha,
Alkaha,
Aratiza,
Aratasa. Now Psalm chapter 83 in English. Keep not thou silent,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still,
Be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name Yasha'Allah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in
For
remembrance.
they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab
and the Hagarene,
and Agarim,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them
do unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
the brook of Kaisan,
the Lord Kaisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their noble
like Oreb
like Oreb,
and like Zeid.
and like Zeed.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes
all their princes,
as the Ba
as above,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Amunah,
who said,
said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name,
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Okay, this is the blessings prayer in the last one, brothers. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Mayaka'al.
Wa Mayaka'al.
Wa Allahayim.
Wa Allahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
What's it like? Alawapim.
Alawapim.
Hasaranyim.
Hasaranyim.
Hakwatazayayim.
Hakwatazayayim.
Hakayayalim.
Hakayayalim.
Wa'akwati.
Wa'akwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Tawad.
Tawad.
Amen.
Blessings prayer in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
The troop, just like the generals.
The generals.
The captain.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you so big.
Thank you so be it.
That's all. That Mashabia. Sometimes I like holding it, you know. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatah, Yahweh Shema Adam Ba'Shem Yahshai. This is the Isupk that started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York in 1969, under commanding General Yohanan. We're here to teach the truth of the Bible to so-called black, Hispanic and Native American Indians are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. You understand? It being the Sabbath service, we've been continuing to read through the book of Genesis. Where did we leave off last week? Do y'all know? Yeah, I got it right here. Understand. We should be at Genesis chapter 19, verse 33. I'm going to read all the way through to Genesis chapter 21, verse 25. So let's get that. We're going to go straight to the Hebrew, all right? You can download the Bible Hub app if you want to follow along with us in the ancient Hebrew, where we, of course, read it on the fly using the Assyrian, but we pronounce it with the ancient Hebrew dialect. You understand? Copy, make sure you're helping them out with whatever he needs to get through. It's quite a bit of reading here. What's up? The mic. Go ahead.
Can I be heard?
No, you good.
They didn't get the fruit for the what's the names? Does anybody have any bread to contribute to the fruit?
Congo.
All right, I'm gonna repeat it right now.
So, no sweat, sir.
I got everything else. Crazy,
Go ahead.
Okay. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 33. The Shah, Fanya, Ta, Abayum, Layan, Allah, Baya, Hawa, Wataba, Habakara, Wakia,
Right, you can still
Shabbat.
hear us when we turn that off. It's not connected to the mic.
That's the one I had selected. Keep going.
Habakara,
No sweat. Don't worry about it.
Bania, Wala, Janai, Ashakabat, Wapa, Wama, verse 34. Wahai, Mamaharat, Wadamar, Habakaira, Alam, Khatazai, Yarakia, Allah, Habakara, Hun, Kabatia, Amash, Hun, Da, Ba, Shikwan, Nawa, Yayan, Gum, Elila, Wabaya, Shakabah, Amwa, Rakia, Yaha, Ma'abarat, Ma'abarat, Yabwa, Wahaya, Wahakia, verse 35. Hota, Shakanya, Gum, Balaela, Hakawa, Ata, Abaram, Yanyan, Warakam, Atzai, Raha, Warakam, Watashat, Wata, Kwa, Amiwa, Wala, Yaira, Sapat, Wabakwan, Maha, Verse 36. Patahura. Naya. Shata. Wanawat. Awat. Ma'am. Bahan. Verse 37. Wadalat. Baka. Baka. Yarai. Wadalat. Wanawat. One.
Son.
All right. One. Patahura. Shamai. Shamawa. Mawa. Hawa. Abaya. Mawa. Da. Wayawam. 38. Hashat. Wa. Hatzaza. Raya. Hawa. Balada. One. Patahura. Shamwa. One. Amaya. Hawa. Abaya. Anaya. Amawan. Aida. Wayawam. Verse 20, chapter 20, verse 1. Wayasa. Hashem. Abaram. Asata. Hanagab. Ayasa. On. Lagisha. Oban. Shara. Vayagar. Lagarar. Verse 2. Vayamar. Abaram. Al. Shara. Ashtwa. Akata. Hawa. Vayashal. Aka. Abalak. Abamlak. Malak. Garar. Vayakwati. Kata. Shara. Verse 3. Wayaba. Alahayim. Al. Abamlak. Alawam. Malaya. La'a. Wayamar. Lawa. Halaka. Mata. Makia. Aila. Hasha. Hasha. Ashar. Lakwa. Lakwata. Waha. Wahawa. Ba'alat. Ba'a. Wa'ala. Verse 4.
7 verses. We're supposed to stop at.
Where you started?
There.
Started at 30. Started at 33. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So verse 39 is where you stop. Which one are you on? No. Genesis chapter 19, verse 33. Oh, now I see what the thing is. Okay. I'm tripping. It's because it ended what verse? So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically, just the first verse of Genesis 20. So you already read 3. No, don't worry about it. Just go to the. We'll just have less verses when we get towards the end. Go to the English and go ahead and read that. Sometimes when it switches chapters on you, it's kind of lose track of how many verses you read. But we always try to read 7 verses at a time. 7 is a number that's synonymous with completion, especially when you look at the parables that Christ would speak of, you know what I'm saying? There were things that he was mentioning. So for some reason, that's kind of what we've been doing. Of course, even the candlestick has 7, right?
I don't know what 19 is in Roman numeral.
You could use the other one if you need to.
Yeah, let me get the other.
The other one? Talking about right here. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's gonna take some getting used to, boy. Dang, I think L means no. V means 5. L means. That's gonna take some getting used to right there. So that's how you know it was altered, right? Well, not that the King James was altered, but you know how they got the pictures in the front, and then the Roman numerals. That did not need to be there. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 33.
So what we left off right when Lot escaped Babylon. His wife died just from looking back from the power of this force that destroyed Babylon. His wife turned into a pillar of salt. She turned into dust, basically. You know what I'm talking about? She turned into ashes just from looking at the destruction that was taking place, which goes to show the destruction that the Most High could bring on the earth is something that we can't really fathom that. You know what I'm saying? Not even a nuclear bomb would do that. Just from looking at it. You know what I mean? The sun will make you go blind from looking at it, but it won't turn you into dust just from looking at it. You know what I mean? So this is what happened. And then his daughters were there, and they assumed that because of the destruction that took place, they figured that they was the only people left on the planet. Or if anything, they figured that for the sake of their father's seed continuing, Lot's seed continuing, they devised a plan. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 33. And they made their father drink wine that night.
Mm-hmm.
And the firstborn went in and lay with her father.
Mm-hmm.
And he perceived not when they lay down, nor when she arose.
Now this is a situation, right? Because according to the law, we understand that this is something that is unlawful according to God's words. But this is something that happened. And by way of it happening, how did it take place? What is it that they gave him?
Wine.
They gave him wine and access. Because it would take quite a bit to get somebody to the point where they're incoherent enough to know who's in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Let alone, of course, back then, they may not have had a light source, normally use fire as a light source, but it was darkness. It was at the nighttime. And so Lot was tricked by his daughters. It was their plan, not his. That he didn't know about that. But the incoherency that the wine had caused him to have is something that we should always consider, because that's what can happen to us whenever we are overindulging in anything. It could be food, it could be wine, it could be strong drink. Could be whatever, right? And those things can make us lose our judgment. And that's what happened a lot. And the scriptures are so heavy, the fact that it always has good timing to bring these things up, because it's what we have to hear. We have to hear these things. We have to understand the whole story. Now, in this particular case, Lot is, I would say, innocent in this situation, right? Because he was coerced into doing this, but it still happened, and the Most High still requires some form of judgment because it happens. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 34. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine, and this night also. And go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve our father.
So what is it? The firstborn went in, had sex with her own father. It's crazy. And then the next day tells the other one, look, we're gonna do the same thing, except this time you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So that they may preserve the seed of their father. This is the Bible, y'all. I'm reading what it says. This is what happened back then. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 35. And they were made their father, and they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father.
Keep going.
Verse 37. And the firstborn bare his son, and called his name Moab.
Call his name what?
Moab.
Moab. Keep going.
The same as the father of the Moabites unto this day.
So we just mentioned Moab in the prayers that we just read. The Moabites. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The Most High struck them with a condition that would alter the way that they look, and that still is held up even to this day. The Moabites. Moab is Hebrew for of his father. Of his father. Keep going.
Okay.
Verse 38.
Okay.
Start from the top.
Verse 38. And the younger she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami.
Ben-Ami. Go ahead.
The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
Mm-hmm. The children of Ammon, a tribal people. Matter of fact, Ammon, in its translation, means tribal. Now, how do you know that this is taking place? Because one, let me see. Well, we're going to read more about that in the next chapter. But the Chinese and the Japanese were birthed as a nation on that day after the Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember what I talked about last class? How fitting is it that Ammon, which would be the Japanese, were the first people on the planet to have a couple of their cities destroyed by nuclear fire? Another very destructive, powerful, thing that was man-made. You understand? That where the oppressor that developed it, the Manhattan Project, Oppenheimer and them, right? Using Einstein's equations and all that to come up with, the scripture says, how can Esau's ways be searched out? Because why? Because he's trying to be like the Most High. Like it says in, is it Obadiah? Where he says, I will be in the sky, will be like the Most High. He's trying to be like him. So his destructive power is trying to replicate, in a certain sense, the power that the Most High has, because Esau has been given control in the earth, and that's why he's doing what he does now. Destroying everything, policing the world, stretching his resources, stretching his armies, you know what I'm saying? And destroyed a city, two cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that belong to the Ammonites of the modern day, which are the Japanese. Also, another thing you have to keep in mind, too, the Japanese were not punks. You saw what they did at Pearl Harbor. You saw what they did, kamikaze and their planes into the ships because they knew that they were about to go on a one-way trip, fly from the middle of the ocean all the way into, Pearl Harbor, and they're going to run out of gas no matter what. So they took their plane and rammed it into Esau's boats to try to slow him down. But the Most High says that Esau was blessed with the sword, so they came back and fought in the Pacific War and did their thing. But you go further back in the Japanese history, where the Shogun era, the term ninjas and all that, samurais and all that, they are a very tribal people. And so Ammon's name tribal actually does mean that it holds up over the test of time, because the Japanese are very much so a tribal people. If you and within their own culture, their own ways of doing things. You understand? China, same thing. Matter of fact, China was the aggressor. Well, China's the aggressor now, but Japan used to bring aggression to China in the early 1900s. They used to go to wars against each other. And of course, China and Japan, they would have their martial arts where they would compete with each other to have, people that would represent each fighting style and try to see who was the best. Yeah, they are of their father, but they are Mongoloids for a reason, because the Most High struck them with that. This is where it's going to say. Go on.
Okay. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And Abraham sojourned from thence toward the south country, and dwelt beneath Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. Verse 2. And Abraham said of Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Verse 3. But God came to see Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Yeah, that's crazy. So basically, Abimelech, the king of Gerar, he sent to have Sarah taken. You know what's crazy? It's the same thing that happened, that he was afraid of happening in Egypt. Is it not? Didn't we just read about that a couple chapters ago? That his wife would have caused trouble because of how beautiful she was. And then here he is sojourning into Gerar, and then Abimelech takes her, and now the Most High is going to see. The Most High is coming through for Abraham. This is the second time he's coming through for him, because he's checking this king in his dream by night. He says, Thou art but a dead man for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. Which tells you what? Shouldn't be dealing with no other man's woman. Well, the Most High is going to check you one way or another. You understand? and what's crazy is that he's checking a heathen that he didn't give the law to. They didn't have no plans to give the law to, because it was being done to somebody that he had plans for a covenant for. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High's will, his counsel is what gets done, not the other nations. Keep going.
I think that was it.
Verse 4?
That was it.
Oh, I thought you read verse 4. No.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it in English.
You didn't read verse 4 in the English?
No, read, did you?
Yeah.
You read it in the
No, read it in the English. Because you read it in the Hebrew.
Verse 4. But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, wilt thou also Lord, wilt thou also slay also a righteous nation?
He's asking the Most High a question. Let's get more of this in the Hebrew. Let's go back to the Hebrew. We're going to read from verse 5 to verse 11. 5 and verse 11.
3. Yeah. 5, right?
Yeah, you're on verse 5.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 5. Hawa, Amar, Aya, Akin, Akita, Hawa, Aya, Gam, Hawa, Amara, Aya, Akia, Hawa, Batam, Labaya, Wabanak, Yawa, Kapaya, Asayatya, Sita. Verse 6, Wayamar, Alawa, Alaim, Bahalam, Gum, Anakia, Jada Aithia, Kaya, Batam, Wababaka, Asayat, Sita, Akisha, Gum, Nakia, Awadam, Balawa, Laya, Al, Kanya, La'a, Wata, Takya, Kataya, Alaka. Verse 7. Wa'aifaha, Ashab, Ashita, Ayasha, Aya, Nabaya, Hawa, Wayuta, Palalai, Daira, Waya, Wayam, Anakia, Mashab, Daya, Daai, Kaya, Mawat, the Mawat, Ata, Waka, Ashar, Laka. Verse 8. Why it should come, Abamalak, Bababar,
Oh yeah, that's the last one.
Verse 11. All right, let's go ahead. Wait, no.
I was going to verse 11.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, can you talk about verse?
he started verse 5. Go ahead.
Oh,
Waya, Yakira, Babakar, Wahayakria, the car, by Barawa, Motorcar, the one at the bar, the car, Adagamram, Hada Baram, Alo, Azar, Nahem, Nazanayim, Waya, Terapa, Hamansham, Ma'aib. Verse 9. Yapira, Abaralat, Abaram, Mayamar, Awa, Maha, Ashata, Anwa, Ama, Kyata, Aya, Lakam, Kaya, Abatal, Alaya, Wa'al, Malapia, Hataha, Garalam, Ma'asham, Shar, Wa'al, Baishwar, Ashata, Aymaria. Verse 10. Wayamor, Abamalak, Ata, Abaram, Ma'a, Raita, Kaya, Ashaita, Ata, Harabar, Azaha. Stop by 11 or read through 11?
Read through 11.
Wayamor, Abaram, Kaya, Amaratia, Ra, Ayat, Ayah, Yarata, Alhaim, Amakom, Azaha, Waha, Raganiwa, Allah, Tabar, Ashataya. That's 11.
Let's get that into English now.
So, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 5. Said he not unto me, she is my sister. And she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said, verse 6, and God said unto him in a dream, yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart. but I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Verse 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are dying. Verse 8. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and men were sore afraid. Verse 9. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us, and what have I offended thee, that thou hast...
Hold on, Sly. Go back to verse 7. Do that again.
Verse 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee.
So Abraham is a prophet. You understand that? The moment the Most High starts dealing with man, he and works with somebody like Abraham, they're able to do things that other people can't do. Perfect example is Joseph, right? Later on. You know what I'm saying? And so what's happening is the Most High is putting our forefathers through this process, and this process is what improves our spiritual strength. After the fall of Adam, who, again, the Most High had been dealing with and had the abilities that the Most High had wanted to give man. You know, the scripture says, for God made man to be immortal, but through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that hold on to his side do find it. I may be paraphrasing. I think I remember that pretty well. But the reason why I say that is because there's an essence to what Abraham is able to bring here, and that's why he's able to go through these situations and come out on top, because it requires a man of faith to push through situations that may seem like they don't have hope. It may seem like they're without reason, and that's something that we all have to realize. You know what I'm saying? Because we're working on our spirits too. This entire process is something that's been ongoing within ourselves. Remember, Christ is the first fruit. If we're to be the ones to come after that are going to be made in likeness to his glorious image, the real image, then we have to start walking the way that he walked. Because it goes all the way back to Abraham, who, you know, people in the world, Christianity, they call him the father of faith. Well, we know Abraham very well. We know, one, he was about that action. He took 300 men to go take out, what, 3 different armies?
Oh, yeah.
And now he's here dealing with he's walking into a city that he has no control over and is making kings do things for him. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's heavy right there. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 7. Soon therefore restore the man and his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are dying. Verse 8. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were sore afraid. Verse 9. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us, and what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? Though thou hast done these unto me that ought not to be done.
See, but here's the thing. The Most High still requires judgment because of the intent of somebody. Because he's saying, how come my whole kingdom has to suffer for what I haven't even done yet, but have maybe considered doing? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what he said. That's why right where we left off in verse 5, where he says, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Because Abimelech was inquiring of the Lord, because again, the Lord came to him in a dream, right? And this is him asking the same thing, but he's asking Abraham, and he's saying, what hast thou done to us? That have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me on my kingdom a great sin? Because again, the relationship between a man and woman is a sacred thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sarah and Abraham, the Most High was not going to allow somebody to come up in that and destroy it. what the Most High ordains to happen, he will protect. Especially if you are on the Lord's side, if you earn his favor. You got a scripture for that? I mean, you can pull that. It's fine. You can read it. But I'm just trying to, what we got to really do when we read this is not just read it just to get through it. That's what the Christian church does. We have to consider every precept. The things that are written aforetime are written for our learning, right? Understand. Go ahead.
This is in the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 6. Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Put together, no man had put asunder. Meaning the Most High is, when he ordained, the scripture says a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to he that feareth the Lord. Sarah was a righteous woman. And the Most High was not going to let that be torn asunder by any king or any heathen. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 10. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? Verse 11. And Abraham said, because I thought surely.
Damn, he said, not because of what I saw, because of what I assumed. Go ahead.
And Abraham said, because I thought surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake.
Man, you know what's crazy? I'm learning a lot from Abraham right now because I understand that the way he's operating right here is like a very circumspect type of caution. You know what I'm saying? Like we could say he's operating with a bit of fear here, right? Because he's assuming, and that's kind of what anxiety does to somebody. They're assuming something could go wrong, even if it hasn't actually happened. But he's trying to, the reason why people have anxiety, and you could say that that's kind of sort of what he had. Abraham had anxiety on that. He said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. If your life is on the line, wouldn't you consider you to be a little bit anxious if you take a caution like that? You know what I'm saying? He's a prophet of the Most High, and he too has anxiety. Think about that. And he still fought through it. Go ahead.
Did Christ not have anxiety?
Christ he was made like unto his brethren. He was made just like we, with the same temptations. But he had to check every demon at every turn, man. Even at the point where, where he said, get thee behind me, Satan, when he was telling that to, was it Peter? He was telling that to Peter because it was almost a demon that Peter was too, zealous about protecting Christ when it was interfering with the Most High's will and the Most High's plan. So there's a time for everything under the sun, like the scripture says, right? There's a time for everything. And right now, Abraham was exercising caution. There's nothing wrong with that. If you know what I'm saying, just like I always say, Captain Akala Mariah, his song "Take Ground." The script, the song is about taking ground, but he also does say give ground too, does he not? Go to ground, give ground. Why? Because it is an ebb and flow. It's like boxing. You gotta take what you can and then duck and weave, right? Or minimize damage if you know you're gonna get hit.
Oh yeah, that's like a command.
So it's the same thing. Abraham is playing to his advantage how he can, even in a place where he feels like he has no advantage. It's like being up against the ropes, right? You do that Mayweather shell.
Yeah.
They can't hit that. It's like the Most High was that Mayweather shell for Abraham. Like, let me stop. Keep going.
That was it.
All right, let's go back to the Hebrew. We're going to get it more in the ancient Hebrew. We're going to read from verse 12 to the end of the chapter, to verse 18.
Okay. Verse 12. So book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 12. Wagam Amana Akitaya Pata Abaya Awa Aki La'a, Wata, Amaya, Wata, Wataya, Waya, Waya, Asha, verse 13, Wayahaya, Kashayar, Laya, Haya, Hata Iwa,
Okay,
Hataya, Hataya, Alahim, Nabayat, Waya, Wa'amar, La'a, Zan, Hasadak, Ashar, Daishaya, Imadayim, Al, Ka, Hamakawam, Ashar, Abanwa, Shama, Amraya, Laya, Aki, Hawa. Verse 14. Wayakwata, Abamalak, Tesawa, Abakar, Bakar, Wabadaim, Washapat, Kyata, Wayata, Baram, Wayashab, Wa, Ta, Shara, Ashtaw. Verse 15. Wayamar, Abamalak, Anaka, Sarataza, Abanakaya, Matawam, Baranakia, Shabbat. Verse 16. Molashara, Amar, Hanaya, Natatia, Ayla, Karasab, Wakanya, Lahakia, Anaka, Hawa, Maka, Sad, Uta, Maka, Hawa, what's that? Aqua, Laak, Kaswat, Ayayam, Naka, Ashar, Athak, Ata, Kaab, Banat, Kahat. Verse 17. Ya, Falak, Ya, Abaram, Ayla, Alahim, Wayarak, Pa, Alahim, Ata, Abamalak, Wata, Ashtawa, Waka, Waka, Hatawa, Waya, Yalakwa. Verse 18. Kaya, Itzar, Itzar, Yahweh, Ka'ai, Ka, Rakam, Batayat, Abimelech, Allah, Nabar, Shara, Ashat, Abaram. Verse 20. End of the chapter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're gonna go back and read the English now.
Yeah.
Verse was it 12 or 13?
Go ahead. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 12. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. And
She said well, technically, yeah, she was, right? And technically, yeah, that is questionable in these days, right? So, of course, Israel is a nation that has continued to show signs of improvement over time, but it is not without its flaws. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High is still ordained for this to be a marriage between what would be step brother and step sister. You know what I'm saying? But in a more direct sense, yes, literally brother and sister because they have the same father, right? But we're dealing with that. Go ahead.
okay. Verse 13. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house that I said unto her, this is thy kindness which thou showed unto me at every place whither we shall come. Say of me, he is my brother.
See, because she's not lying when she says that. It's just that there's more to their relationship than that. You know what I'm saying? That was like I said, it is a kindness, meaning what is a protection of him. That's why he's saying what it says when God caused me to wander from my father's house, because they've already gone through this type of situation before. Did they not? Yeah. It was in Egypt, right? It was in Egypt. Now it's happening here. And let's see what the result is of that. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house that I said unto her, this is my kindness, which thou shalt show unto me at every place whither we shall come. Say of me, he is my brother. Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants.
Go ahead.
And women servants.
Go, keep going.
And gave them unto Abraham and restored him Sarah his wife.
It's crazy, right? So where he came up because of him being truthful, telling them what's up. You know what I'm saying? Him being a prophet. The Most High is looking out for us when we do his will. Even in a dire situation, hold your point. In a dire situation like this, where he was expecting to die and had anxiety beyond all reason, sometimes you don't realize the Most High's got something set up for you beyond that wall of anxiousness. You understand? That you have to consider everything. Remember, Abraham considered the cautious side of things, but he also took that into heart in his decision making, and the Most High still blessed it. Because the thing is that the Most High's will is what is the most important. So that's what happened, is that he got restored his wife, but then also was given cattle and servants, people to help out with all the cattle, people to help out with all, so he wouldn't have to do all this work now that he has all these resources. And he got his woman back. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15. And Abimelech said, behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleases thee.
Good night. Imagine that. Imagine being in America, be like, see, the United States, go ahead and pick wherever you want to set up a house. And then I'm going to have these servants build that house. I'm going to have them build the cattle barns and everything, so you can have, steady flow of resources, food, and, you know what I'm saying? Workhorses and things like that. What got set up. I don't know where y'all would go if y'all had the option to choose anywhere in the world to set up shop, but there are some nice places. So I would assume that Abimelech may have had some pretty decent land to choose from, Abraham found a place to go. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 16. And unto Sarah he said, Behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver.
God, 1,000 pieces of silver on top of everything else. So Most High put a spirit in this person to be very generous. Somebody that Abraham thought was going to kill him is now providing him a place to stay, a place to raise his family. You understand? Keep going.
Okay. And Abraham said, Behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleaseth thee. Verse 16. And unto Sarah said, Behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. Verse 17. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bare children.
Good, nice. So there he goes. And now he's setting things up. Be fruitful and multiply. That's not the first commandment that the Most High gave the existence on earth. So Abraham is fulfilling that. After all this turmoil and traveling and things like that. Now he's settling down, but it's not even by his own, how do I say, blood, sweat, and tears. Go ahead.
Verse 18. For the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife.
Damn. Good. Now, copy out. What was it that you was gonna add? Fuck you. I forgot about you. Do you remember what you were gonna say?
Yeah, something about like, do you ever really think about like how we like really all come from the same father? Like nobody really thinks about that. We all come from the same father, but just different mothers. Like,
Okay, yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
like,
see what you're saying. Yeah.
nobody thinks about that. We all come from the same. It triggers on us.
See,
a different explanation of mine, but I forgot it.
well, you think about the flood, right? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Who did their children marry? They had to marry within their family, right? This is a little bit more direct though, because you're talking about the father directly with a different mother. That'd be like, I guess I don't want to think of an example of that. But read that last verse right there again.
Verse 18. For the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs.
Who's that? All the wombs. What is that talking about right there? All the wombs. That's not just talking about his wives, if he had wives, but his children, that he had daughters. You understand what I'm saying? Just from the very thought of him wanting to take Sarah from Abraham. That the Most High, even after putting the spirit in him to give so much to Abraham to take care of him, the Most High still basically put him up for extinction. You understand? And that's exactly what he'll do to Esau too, if you're following the Lord. He'll have Esau, the scripture says, if your ways please the Most High, even your enemies shall be at peace with you. Doesn't that say that? And that's exactly what Abimelech was to Abraham at that time. He was an enemy. And then the Most High dealt with him accordingly, even after they tried to show compassion, try to make amends. And the scripture says that after Esau serves his sentence of going into captivity, that there will be a complete end to his house, that he's going to be up for extinction, even after he makes up for everything that he's done to Jacob through his violence. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High requires it. It is his will. We can't fight against that. But we look at examples like this and we have to realize our Lord is an austere Lord, a man of war, who takes what he wants when he wants and destroys who he wants when he wants, and protects and gives mercy and compassion on who he wants. And he chose Israel. And that's you, Black, Hispanic, Native American person. That's you. He gave that to you and not the other nations. Though we read about them in these scriptures and they have their moments, look at how it ends for them. Just for messing with God's chosen. Let's go to the next chapter. Because we got a little bit of reading to do in there. A little bit of reading. Let's see. Yeah, just go and read the first 7 verses.
Okay. In the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Waya, Adak, Ada, Shara, Washar, Amara, Wadasha, Yahweh, Ashra, Kashar, Labara. Verse 2. Wathar, Wat Tahar, Wathalat, Shara, Laparam, Anwa, Lakan, Najwa, Lakan, Nawa, Abawait, Ashar, Dabar, Dawa, Alahim. Verse 3. Wayak, Kara, Abaram, Ata, Sham, Manwa, Hanawa, Lada, Wala, Ashar, Yadalat, Awa, Shara, Itazak. Verse 4. Oyama, Abaram, Ata, Itazak, Anawa, Ban, Shamatha, Yahamayim, Ashar, Tazawat, Tawa, Alhaim. Verse 5. Abaram, Manwa, Matha, Shanat, Bakhab, Walat, Nawa, Ata, Yetzizak, Manwa. Verse 6. Wadramar, Shara, Tizakat, Asha, Naya, Alahim, Ka, Ashashab, Ma'ai, Tizak, Naya. Verse 7. Wadamar, Maya, Malah, Abaram, Hanya, Naikwa, Banyam, Shara, Haya, Bailat, Haya, Anwa, Tazakwa, Nawa. Verse 7.
Let's get that in English now so we can understand it. Go ahead.
So 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken.
Yes. And what was that? Remember, he told him, even when those men that were heading to Babylon to survey it, they were angels.
Yeah.
And it was told that Abraham was going to give birth even at his old age. And Abraham being 100, his wife, I believe, was 90. She was like 10 years under him, right? Yeah, that still happens today too. Right? You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not so much as women giving birth at that age, but I'm talking about like the age gap there.
Oh,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they already had Ishmael. But again, Ishmael was Abraham's
son that was born of the Egyptian woman. The Most High blessed their seed, and then they gone on and withheld, or at least tried to withhold some of the customs, but they have their own version of it, which is definitely off. But they did have another child. Go ahead.
Oh God. Verse 2. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, and the set time of which God has spoken into him.
Keep going.
To him. Verse 3. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Verse 4.
Which is Yatazahak, which is one form of it. I believe Yatazak is actually Isaac as well. Comes from the word to sport, to toy with, to laugh, to mock. Tazahak. Yatazak is another form of it. And that means he laughs. At least that's what this definition is. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, and God had commanded him. Verse 5. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. Verse 6. And Sarah said, God had made me to laugh, so that all that here will laugh with me. Verse 7. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck, for I have borne with a son in this old age?
Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? Meaning because they breastfed. They didn't have formula back then. 100-year-old, 90-year-old woman breastfeeding. That's something else. Go ahead. Go ahead and read the next two groups in once, because we're going to finish up pretty quickly here. To read through to verse 25. So you're going to read from verse 8 all the way to 25.
Okay.
Copy yard, I need you to lock in with him too, because he's going to read from verse 8 to 25, so we can finish the group. It's already starting. It's getting there. Come on.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 8. Ayah, the dog. Ayah, the dog. Ayah, the maw. Ayah, Isha, Abaram.
What time is it now?
Mashata, Gadawa,
Oh,
Bayawam,
we got 2
Adama,
seconds left.
Ata,
I'm going to have him read it all at once right now.
Gatazak, Atabra, Sabaya, Ata, Ban, Agar, Ma, Tazak, Rita, Matazarium, Ashar, Yalada, Abaram, Matzaki. Verse 10. Adamar, Abaram, Garad, Hamahad, Hazata, Wa'ata, Anya, Aya, La'a, Yasharat, Anya, Ahmad, Azat, Ayam, Anya, Ayam, Yatzak. Verse 11. While you're right, Khadabar, Ma'ata, Wa'aya, Naya, Abaram, Al, Abadat, Anya. Verse 12. Wayamar, Nahayim, Al, Abaram, Allah, Yarai, Aya, Nakia,
Sit up a little bit more straight. That way you can project it better to the mic.
Okay. Allah, and Ira, Wa'al, Amatakia, Kal, Ashar, Tamar, Alakia, Shara, Shayam, Makalat, Kaya, Yatzab, Kia, Yakura, Laka, Zariah, Wagam, Ata, Manwam, Amat, Lakawam, Nasha, Mayam, Nawa, Kaya, Harka, Hawa. What'd you say to?
Hmm?
What did you say to read to?
Go all the way to 25.
Wayasham come. Abaram. Babakar. Wayokat. Lakam. Muhammad. Wayam. Wa'ai. Aitaw. Allah. Agar. Sham. Allah. Shakma. Wata. Ayala. Wayasha. Akia. Wallah. Tatiga. Badamarpa. Para. Shabaya. Verse 15. Wayalak. Wa. Hamayam. Man. Hakimat. Atashalat. Ata. Hayalat. Takihat. Yahad. Hashemayim. Verse 16. With the car. With the shub. La'ah. Malagat. Harakikwa. Katahab. Kiwa. Sata. Kaya. Amarat. Allah. Harat. Awamat. Hayalat. With the shub. Malagat. With the shub. Ata. Lakwa. Wadabat. 17. Wayashim. Lahayim. Ta. Kawa. Hanaira. Ayapara. Malat. Lahayim. Ha. Makar. Manwa. Hashemayim. Mayamar. La'a. Ma. Laka. Hagar. A. Ta'ai. Raya. Kaya. Shemaya. Alahaim. A. Hawa. Hanaira. Bashar. Hawa. Shum. Verse 18. Pamanya. Shaya. Ta. Hana'ar. Wahaza. Kya. Ata. Ida. Awa. Kaya. Agawa. Adwa. Ashanyan. Nawa.
You're going to learn some Hebrew, man.
Some of them, the short ones are easy.
Yeah, no, but you're getting the phrases better. You just got to stay consistent. That practice is where
Right.
commits it to memory, you know.
Okay. Verse 19. Wayapathqua Alahayim Ata Ayana Yaha Matara Bashar Yawayam Mayam Zaka Wadlak Matamal Ata Hakia Mata Mayam Matiza Shak Ata Anara. Verse 20. Wayahaya Alahayim Ata Hala Ira Wajagal Wayashab Ramadarba Wayahaya Rabah Kashat 21. Verse 21. Wayashab Ramarbar and Rawa Watakwat Lawa Amwa Asha Marataza Verse 22. Wayaya Baita Alwa Wayamar Bamala Upayakar Shar Upathwa Adam Baram Namor Alahayim Amaka Bakar Ashar Ataha Ashakar. Verse 23. Wa'aita Hashabai Laya Malahayim Anaka Am Ta Shakar Laya Walana Yanaya Walana Daya Kaasad Ashar Ashaya Daya Amaka Ta'asha Amadaya Wa'am Haritaz Ashar Kata Ba'a. Verse 24. Wayamar Abaram Anakia Ashabaya. Verse 25. Wahawakia Abaram Ata Abamlat Allah Arawat Ba'a Hamayam Ashar Yazalwa I Padaya Abamalak. And that's 25.
All right, now we're going to read in the English. Remember, we started back at verse 8 all the way through to verse 25. So we're going to read that in the English. Let's break it down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 8. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the same day that Isaac was weaned.
You know, that's there's nothing wrong with that. It's not even a particular age, because it's not like a birthday. We don't celebrate birthdays, but there are certain occasions where things can be celebrated, right? Like say for instance, like, you know, brothers got a graduation or something, right? And a moment in time that stands out amongst other moments, right? Because of an accomplishment or because of a phase shift in somebody's life. So Abraham made a feast for that. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 8 and verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking.
Dang, she was talking smack. It says Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. The son of Hagar. It wasn't even Hagar himself. It was her son that Abraham peep game saw him. He was mocking his younger brother is what it was. You know, that's how brothers are though, right? Older brothers always pick on the younger brothers. They're like, oh, just because he's weaned off just because he's getting weaned don't mean he nothing. He still ain't, you know, that's how brothers are. They always got to find something to do with their younger brothers and picking on them. It's kind of been, that's been something consistent all throughout time. Because people are worldly, fleshly, you know what I'm saying? It's just what happens. But what happened after that? Go ahead.
Verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son.
See that? That's that sister wife jealousy right there. You know what I'm saying? That's not new either. Sarah said, get this woman out of here. Get her and her son. She didn't even just say the son, who was the one that did the trespass. It was she said, get her, the bondwoman and her son. That's crazy too, because she didn't call her by name. She said, remember, she's a bondwoman. She ain't nobody to us. That's kind of, she was being disrespectful because she got disrespected. Come on now. Think about a so-called black woman today, Hispanic woman today. The moment she's disrespected, I mean, the words are like knives, bro. That's why she's called her a bondwoman. Get this slave out of here. She was trying to be offensive by what she said. Go ahead.
Okay. And her son cast out, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
And she specified. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son.
Now he's got to make a choice. Whose side you gonna be on, man? Because you in the doghouse now, or you're in the hot seat now. You know what I'm saying? You if it's all on you, you got these two glaring eyes from these sisters and the son there. You know what I'm saying? Looking to you for the answer. Who you gonna side with? Well, Abram knew who he had to side with. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, because of thy bondwoman, and in all that Sarah has said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
See that? It says, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So what here is we have to understand that even in the midst of drama, what the Most High requires is the decision that you have to make, even if it's the tough decision. Even if it's the decision that makes you look like the bad guy. Because the thing is, what the Most High had ordained from the beginning was for the son, Isaac, to be the one to inherit the seed, to inherit the covenants. The Most High wasn't done yet. He was going to go even more specific after Isaac. But in order to even get to that point, this had to take place. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because it's thy seed. Verse 14. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water.
Yeah, a bottle of water. Go ahead.
And gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba.
Yeah, night. Beersheba.
Beersheba.
Right. So she basically got sent packing. Sent her packing. That's what he did. He sent her packing. Gave her a bottle of water and what? Took some bread. He said, here, that's a hold you over for a little bit. Got her out of there. Now she's wandering around in the wilderness, roughing it.
Right.
Most women ain't know what to do in the wilderness by themselves. What the heck is she gonna do? She gonna run out of the bread and the water. That's what's gonna happen. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrews.
Yeah, she threw the whole kid away. Put him under the shrubs. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And she went and set her down over against him, a good way off, as it were a bow shot.
A bow shot. Like if you were to shoot a bow and arrow, you might get you 30, 40, 50 yards, depending on how skilled you are. So she basically put the child under a bush, went from like she still kept her eye on him, but she took a step back. And then go ahead.
For she said, let me not see the death of the child. And she said over against him and lifted up her voice and wept.
So she didn't throw him under because she didn't care about him. She threw him under because she's so sorely afraid of seeing him die of hunger. The same child that was mocking. He had to have been of age where he was able to talk. Right?
Right.
Otherwise, how would he have mocked his brother? She set the child in there. Go ahead.
17. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said unto her, why lieth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Verse 18. Arise, lift up the lad and hold him in thine hand. For I will make him a great nation.
Do what?
Make him a great nation.
Who's this? This lad here. Ishmael is the name of the lad, son of Hagar. The Most High said that he was going to be a great nation. He was a Semitic tribe or nation of people, in a sense. Because what? Because they come from the seed of Shem. So there's customs that they carried along with them. And what's crazy is that these are customs that were passed during that split that took place between Abraham and then was her name Hagar? Was before Israel was given the commandments on the stone tablet, right? Before it was written in the law of Moses, there were still customs that they held on to that led them to being where they are, at least to some extent. Because the thing is, now this is crazy. I was watching a show, and in the show is Turkish, right, and Arabic, but they had the custom of the proof of the woman being a virgin when they get married. They talked about those things. There was a lot of themes that felt Old Testament in some of their ways that are old school. And I thought that was strange. I was like, wait a minute, some of that stuff is biblical.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that the Quran is just a poor copyright of the Bible, because they take it and they ran with it, but they tried to take some of those morals that come from Abraham and the way he was doing things and raising up his family. They come from Adam and the way that he was raising up his family. Some of those things bled into him, and the Most High said that they were going to be a great nation, and they are today. They have a lot of slums and things like that, but they also have a lot of abundance because of their dealings with the other nations, which again is going to be part of their detriment as well. But even in still, they are a great number in multitude. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 19. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water.
Oh, good night. There's some water. I'll keep you going. Keep going.
And she went and filled the bottle with water and gave the lad drink.
Right. You need water to live. You could go a little while without bread, but you got to have the water. You understand? That'll hold them over to the next episode whenever they get their stuff together. Keep going.
Verse 20. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer.
That's interesting. He became an archer himself. So, I mean, what? He knew how to take care of himself. He knew how to hunt. He knew how to hold it down. Keep going.
Verse 21. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt.
That's crazy. She's the one that chose marriage. That's a lot of times how the Arabs are now. They mother like, you know what? I want this woman for my son. They be doing that, bro. Yeah. They be doing arranged marriages and then having the feasts and customs like that. Some of that stuff is, again, from the time of Abraham. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. Verse 22. And it came to pass that at the time that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. Verse 23. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned. Verse 24. Then Abraham said, I will swear. Verse 25. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water which Abimelech's servant had violently taken away.
So there was this is development of another situation that Abraham's going to have to deal with, and we're going to read that in the next Sabbath service. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. But that Amadim, which means to stand. Go ahead, blow the horn. Officer, copy it.
Ayashral.
Layashal.
You gotta go down there.
All right, with that, Sar.
Which means to turn, final Hakadam, which means to face the east. Now we're gonna finish with the Lord's Prayer in the Lashon Kodash, and then in the English.
Abanao.
Shabbat Shema.
Shabbat
Shema.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malafaka.
Malapaka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamam.
Bashaman.
Latanana.
Nathanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Ka.
How.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakna.
Wasalakna.
Kabawatna.
Kabawatna.
Kasalakna.
Kasalakna.
Kabawatina.
Kabawatina.
Walala.
Wala'a.
Tabi'ana.
Tabi'ana.
Wanasai one.
Anasai one.
Abo.
Abal.
Aishana.
Awashayna.
Ayan.
Mayan.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Lakam.
Laka.
Kamalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wahala.
Wahala.
Watapara.
Watapara.
Lailamim.
Lailamim.
Aman.
Aman. Let's pray in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation. But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Sorry.
Oh, turn towards me.
No, you gotta go.
Oh, Salaki, you have to go first.
It's about, oh.
Yahbashim Yahushua Brakia.
Yahabashim Yashab Rakia.
Yahbashim Yahushua Brakia.
Yahbashim Yashab Brakia.
So there. A little one more time. That's the world. All right, at this time now we're going to give the brothers one courtesy salute. Sisters may have a seat. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak, Yahab Shem Yahushua Brakatham, Yadi Matah. Sorry, we're going to turn and face the sisters for one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak, Yahab Shem Yahushua Yaji Matat, dismiss.